Hello everyone, welcome to my video. It's Grandpa Hickory saying welcome. Hey, I wanted to let everyone know that I have been retired 7 years now. And if you're thinking about retiring, if it's kind of crossed your mind and you're on up in years and you've been with the company a long time and you just get kind of tired of working and everything, you just kind of realize, hey, it's time to take it on down the road. Do what I want to do instead of what they want to do. And friends, I retired August the 1st, I retired October the 1st, 2018. And my wife had died in November 28th, 2017 at 6:16 a.m. And I continued working until the following September. I was off for a full month. They gave me a month off. They were giving me a promotion. They were going to fire a guy that they had a lot of problems with. They called him KT, and they wanted me to take the department over, but he had messed up the inventory and everything so bad, friends, I didn't want nothing to do with it. Besides that, the way they treated me and everything all those years, I told him, the head man, when he come down to HR, because they gave me a month off of pay and said, we want you to think about it and come on back. Well, I came back in there October the 1st. He come in there, he said, well, what do you think? And I told the man, I said, sir, I said, for 35 years I've had to work here. He said, yeah, you're an excellent employee. And I said, well, I had to because my wife had to have insurance. And if I'd have left the company, at that time, there was what they called pre-existing conditions, and you were unable to get reinsured. And since I'm Caucasian, I would be uneligible for free medical aid, and since I wasn't a minority. So I told him, and he said, yeah, that's true. And I said, so I had to stay here. And I said, I have been treated in a way that no human being on earth should ever have been treated. And he nodded his head. And I said, I am retiring. I'm not coming back. So the HR woman, she got all the papers ready. I had to go down to retirement. All they did was check the papers. I went back, turned the papers in, and she walked me out the gate. And I took my badge and I dropped it inside the little container they have there, security has for your badges when you retire and leave. And she just stood there, and I walked on out, got to my car, and I turned around and I shook the dust off my boots. And I raised my hands and I thanked God that I was out of there. And I looked at that place and I said, the Lord judged between me and you. And the Lord God will fight my battles. Revenge is mine, saith the Lord, I will repay. And I got in my car and I drove off, and that was it, people. I left there. I went by there about 4 years later, and I stopped and I did it again. I shook my dust off my boots, got back inside, praised my hands and praised God that I was retired and out of that place, and I drove off. Have you ever worked a job where it's hard enough, but when you have to pull the whole department, when all the buddies of the supervisor got to sleep in the office, they put all the work on me. I did the work of 5 people. And well, they wanted to get rid of me because I cost Aetna Insurance a lot of money for my wife. When my wife died, I think the final bill was like $2.3 million. And they came after me for 7 years. And the statute of limitations ran out, thank God, and it was gone. And I talked to some union people, and they said, well, they normally turn that over to charity, and charity takes care of that. I said, well, they didn't for me. I mean, friend, they came after me with everything they had. But when you retire, you will be so happy. And friends, all I can say is It's a wonderful feeling. I get up each day. It's just wonderful. It's a whole new world. Now, my wife died, and I went through that. My gallbladder exploded, and I had to go through that horrible surgery, and oh, it just, everything changed. And then my esophagus burst inside my chest from all the stress and grieving so bad from my wife that and the job, the horrible stress they put on me all those years, it caused my esophagus to burst. So I was in surgery for 4.5 hours to stitch that up. But these are the things that happen to you when you retire. Things happen. But the Lord brought me through, and He'll bring you through. But friends, I get up every morning. I got my Yorkshire Gold tea. I got my computer. I have all of you wonderful people. And friends, it gets better and better and better each and every day in retirement. So we have hard times and hard memories from the times that we work, disappointments and everything. But you know what? I'm away from every bit of that, and you will be too. Just shove it all behind you and go right on. You'll be so happy just being you. And friends, that's the way it should be. I'm inviting you to hit the like button. It helps my channel to grow. And I'm asking you to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you on the next video. Cheers to all of you. Thank you for coming. And I'll see you on the next video. Enjoy your retirement, friends. Enjoy it. God has blessed you and made the way to where you have got to today. Goodbye from Texas.